So former RBA player Charles Barkley goes caning from power on LeBron James. Charles Barkley steps into a time machine and turns back into Super Charles. I'm talking about before he became the big back Charles Barkley, eating all the churros and boxes of pizza, and gave LeBron James an old-fashioned Bruce Lee type beating verbally. I'm not talking about Charles and Netta. Charles, your food is ready. Charles Barkley goes Rocky Balboa on LeBron James. Charles Barkley chews LeBron James up like some broccoli. Although, I prefer my broccoli with melted cheese mixed with some mashed potatoes. To say the least, yes. But let's get back to business. But Charles Barkley goes Dragon Ball Z on LeBron James. Charles Barkley goes Saquon Barkley and rushes full speed at LeBron James as he just trucks him and run him over. Flies in the sky like a bald eagle and hawks down his prey, which is LeBron James. But Charles Barkley gives LeBron James a reality check. Hey, what Lil Wayne say on that song, John? Pay these with a reality check. Yeah. But Charles Barkley reminds LeBron James that he ain't him no more. That he's no longer the big shot or the face of any team and ain't in no position to be calling shots. Charles Barkley says, LeBron James, your time is now up. But here's what Charles Barkley had to say. This article is per MassLive.com via MSN Sports Media, and the headline reads, LeBron James isn't the Lakers' top dog anymore, Charles Barkley says. The article goes on to say, quote, Charles Barkley says the Los Angeles Lakers are currently transitioning between superstars, talking to Yahoo Sports. It goes on to say the Hall of Famer said that the Lakers will be building around Luka Doncic instead of the 40-year-old James. Charles Barkley went on to say, quote, well, he's on the downside of his career, Barkley said to Yahoo Sports about James. It's Luka's team going forward. It goes on to say, Barkley says that the Lakers are in good position for such a handoff. James may be the RBA's all-time leading scorer, but he's also a versatile player who can play multiple roles, including support for Doncic. Charles Barkley went on to say, quote, it's easy for LeBron James because LeBron could play without the ball, Barkley said to Yahoo Sports. He went on to say, quote, when you're a great player and they bring other great players, you have to learn to play without the ball. Luka has a big advantage because Luka has to play with the ball. LeBron James is such a great player, he could play without the ball, Charles Barkley says. But Chuck is right. LeBron James ain't no top dog no more. LeBron James, he's more of a bottom dog for Hump Daddy. I'm sorry, I meant for Puff Daddy at the Diddy Freak-Offs. But the Lakers, or any team for that matter, don't need to be prioritizing no 40-year-old man who has to take Epsom salt baths now and wear Depends while playing. Not because he's old and can no longer hold his bowels, but because he's just a scary dude and he's afraid of the fourth quarter crunch time moments, and he just doesn't want to poop on himself because of fear. But let's just be real. The Los Angeles Lakers shouldn't have never signed LeBron James in the first place. They mortgaged their young core players who are with other teams currently, contributing to these teams in a good way and helping them win. From the Julius Randles to Josh Hart, I believe Jordan Clarkson is really going to help the Knicks a lot by bringing scoring punch off the bench. Brandon Ingram is doing well. If Lonzo Ball can stay healthy, he could really help the Cavaliers. So the Lakers sold their soul for a 2020 Mickey Mouse RBA championship. Blood sacrificed one of their most loyal and beloved players in Kobe Bean Bryant and his daughter, allegedly, all for an RBA championship that when we look back in history, in the history books, people will remember it for being a fugazi, fluke, a fake championship, and ultimately it won't count. It will always have an asterisk by it. You gave up your future for LeBron James, and now you have the opportunity to right your wrongs by acquiring Luka Doncic. But they must get rid of LeBron James, or otherwise he's going to continue to destroy your team, because he's going to continue to bring that bad energy to your team, kill your team's chemistry with all the negative press. He's going to continue to use his paid bots, his paid puppets in the media to trash his teammates when they lose. And because of LeBron James, you will lose badly. LeBron James is undoubtedly holding the Los Angeles Lakers back big time. And I get that Charles Barkley knows his basketball, but he's way off by saying that LeBron James knows how to play off the ball. I mean, maybe we watching two different LeBron Jameses. Maybe he watches LeClone James. Because LeBron James does not know how to play off the ball whatsoever. He cannot catch and shoot. He doesn't set great screens. He can't move off the ball because he's literally too slow and the defenders can keep up with him. LeBron James is only useful when he has the ball in his hands and playing blacktop basketball, playing in the LeBron James system. That's the only way he knows how to play basketball. And that's why LeBron James could never play with a Greg Popovich or a Phil Jackson, because the man can't read. He would literally be reading the playbook upside down. But if the Los Angeles Lakers would have just allowed their young core to develop, ain't no telling how special they would have been by now. See, here's the quote of the day, people. Sometimes you can't grow until you let go. Let me repeat that for you. Okay, see, sometimes you can't grow until you let go. The Lakers have to let go the baggage in LeBron James, because next year or the year after that, he's going to want for the Los Angeles Lakers to draft his other son, LeBron James III. And see, that right there won't even be enough for the bum, because then he will change his wishes and then wants to move the goalposts, and he'll say, yeah, my only wish now is to play with my daughter, Zori James. You know, I think I could stay around until 2051 and still play at a high level. It will be the first father-son, son and daughter quadruple team in the RBA. And the Bronsexuals will back the decision 100% like they do everything else. Don't think for 1 second that they didn't show us that clip of LeBron James, of him bouncing the ball with his daughter, LeBumsess, for nothing. And when I say LeBumsess, I'm basically calling her Le Princess to play off the name LeBron James. But they didn't show us that footage for a reason, and it didn't go viral of LeBron James bouncing the ball with his daughter at the Summer League for no reason. So the Lakers, they must get LeBron James off the team effective immediately. But yes, the Los Angeles Lakers should be catering to Luka Doncic. He's younger, fresher legs, a better scorer, better passer, higher IQ than LeBron James, more clutch than LeBron James. And not only should the Lakers be leaning on Luka to call all the shots, they should be giving this man everything he wants to keep him happy, because he's your future. I'm talking about back massages, feet massages, shrimp, lobster, filet mignon, unlimited Popeyes biscuits, $100,000 champagne bottles, the whole nine. Luka Doncic is at the stage to where he should be able to contact the head of the Lakers front office personally and put in a call to have LeBron James traded or released if he pleases. But this is the man who will carry your franchise and shift culture forward and lead you to a real RBA championship. Luka is the one who's going to recruit and attract other big name superstars, A-list superstars, and attract all the Hollywood stars to Laker games. He's going to bring in superstar players like Nikola Jokic. They are literally close friends. But if you keep LeBron James there, no other premier players will want to join the team. And a player that played for your team, who established himself, who gained respect and love in that building, and Kobe Bryant approved of Luka Doncic. LeBron James knows full well of Luka's capabilities, but LeBron James doesn't want to leave or retire because he knows that Luka will break all of his records and get all the spotlight. But see, LeBron James is torn in between the two because he wants to return to Cleveland for that very same reason, because the Cavs are winning and are doing very well without LeBron James. See, LeBron James is the type of person, he may not want to be with you, but he also doesn't want you to do well or do great without him. Okay, but that's why LeBron James wants to return to Cleveland, because he wants to be the only player in Cavs history to win an RBA championship. But see, Luka Doncic should be enough to win a championship for LeBron James. Hell, all it took was just Kyrie Irving and Luka to advance to the RBA finals to face off against the Boston Celtics. But LeBron James complaining about he need more help, as the younger generation say, it's the YN's time. Okay, it's the YN's time. LeBron James is a OM, which is an old man. And the old man has had his time. It's time to pass the torch But LeBron James doesn't want to pass the torch because he has yes men around him telling him to never retire, and the steroids allegedly got him believing that he's invincible.